All right, hello class. This is group one, and today we're going to be doing our second SAS Viya demonstration. And this is going to be within the depths of chapter three. Everyone in this group is going to go through an individualized section, which will show you some examples of what's being taught in chapter three. So feel free to follow along as we go, or just take in the information and try it again on your own time before the exam. But I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. I am Luke, and I'm going to be going through the creating data items, which is on pages 344 through 351. And to do this, I started off by accessing the Viya 1 Demo 3.3a, which is in the Basics folder, YVA1, and Demos Marketing. And what we're going to want to start off by doing is going over to page 3 here. Each of these 3 pages have different graphs, but we're going to focus on this one. And we're going to want to view new calculated items. So to do this, we're going to go over to data. It's going to be down in the aggregated measure here. Number of orders is what we're looking at specifically. We're going to want to just edit it so we can examine this in a different light. So as you can see here, we have a visual of what this categorization is doing. And that's all we need for now. But keep it in mind, because we're going to be building our own in a minute or two. Next, we are going to want to do the same, but for customer age. So we can see that right here under measure here. I'm going to go ahead and click edit. Similar, we can see all the different functions that cause this item, this measure to work correctly. A little bit more complicated, but that's what this one looks like. All right, cancel out of that bad boy. And now in the category group, we're going to want to go to customer age group. And that is up here under category. Edit again. Just going to view, get a quick overview of what's going on. As we can see, this one is even more complex as before. And that's essentially what we're doing in this stage, is looking from simplistic to quite complex. So we can go ahead and back out of this screen right now. And next, we're going to want to create our own distinct count data items. So to do this, in the category group, we're going to want to click customer ID, which is right here. So right click it and then go to new calculation. We're going to want to change the name here to number of customers. And we're going to want to make sure that this is verified as distinct count. That's what it autofills as, but as you can see here, there are multiple choices. So we got that. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And we can see here that under aggregated measures, we have a new variable, number of customers. What we're going to want to do with this is create an automatic chart. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new page here. We're going to look at number of orders, which is down here, number of customers, as well as order type, which should be in category right here. So control click those 3, drag them over, and it's going to create a custom bar chart here for us, looking at order type compared to number of customers and number of orders based on the type of order. All right, and now next we're going to want to do a few edits to these bar charts. So we're going to go over here on the right-hand side and click options. And we're going to want to essentially edit the name field first. So we want to change it from this to customers and orders by type. Go ahead and click enter there. And as you can see right here, the name does end up changing for us. Now we're going to want to work on a different data item. We're going to want to duplicate a data item and modify data item properties. To do this, we're going to go back over to the data pane here. And in the measure group, we're looking for profit right here. Right click on it and duplicate. Now with this new profit one variable, we're going to want to edit its properties by clicking this down arrow and changing the aggregation from sum to average. And we can change the name as well to average profit. And there we go. We have a new measure variable all set up for us. Next, we're going to want to modify the average profits by order type and continent bar chart. So to do this, we're going to want to click average profits by continent bar chart, which I believe is back over here. And we're going to want to go over to the roles data and also open up the data on this side. And then we're going to want to essentially swap out the measure from profit to average profit. As we can see here, it alters the graph. Instead of looking at profit by sum, it's looking at profit by average. All right. Next, and I believe finally, we're going to create a new custom category. So to do that, we go to new data item, custom category. Wait for it to load. All right, and we're going to want to give it a new name. This is going to be loyalty member. We're going to want to make sure it's based on a loyalty number here, because what we're going to do is create some new value groups based off the two loyalty number categories, which are 00 and 99. We have to wait for it to load. SAS Viya is being a little slow. All right, here we have the loaded values. So what we're going to want to do is to create two different value groups. We're going to have first one being titled no, and we're going to want to drag 00 over there into values. And we're going to want to create a new one with 99. So we're going to drag it down here and then title this one yes. Enter. Now that we have those all set up, we're going to want to make sure the remaining values are grouped correctly. So we want it to be group as and other, which it's already preset it, making our job a little bit easier. And we can go ahead and click OK. Now, as you can see here, we have a new custom category, which is this bad boy right there. And what we're going to want to do with that is duplicate this bar chart and have a little fun with it. So to duplicate, you can either right click or click this ellipses. Go ahead and click duplicate. And I'm going to move this to a different page. So I'll create a new one as well. Then I'll right click it again, move to page 5. So what we're going to want to do here is we are going to want to alter the roles. So for category, we're going to want to change it from order type to loyalty member, which is that new category we just created. We're going to want to change the measure from, or I'm sorry, we're going to want to change the group from continent name to customer age group, which is right there. And then we're going to want to go into options and change the name from average profits by order type and continent to average profits by, I'm going to delete all of it, average profits by loyalty, membership, and age group. And also alter the bar chart so it shows vertical. And there you have it. We have our new bar chart based off of that new category we developed. And that is all for this first section. In the next section, we're going to hand it off to Dalton.
All right, for our second section of the SAS Viya demo, we're going to go through pages 3-59 through 3-68. To start, from your browser window, obviously sign in. We'll go through here, pull up your data set from Explore and Visualize, and then all reports going down the list. Anyway, you pull this up, VA1 demo 3.3b, click page 4, and then create new data items. In the left pane, we're going to go through data, go down to state name, and then we will edit the properties. Yes, state name. We can edit the properties. Make sure the classification is on geography, not category. And then, perfect. You can look here, make sure it's all in place, US state names, then press OK. And then we can go to the data pane again, look at the postal code, going right above it, inspect, make sure that's set geography, US zip codes right here. Press OK. And then yeah, going down the data pane, select a new data item. And then got that. Awesome. And then that's all in order. So then we can add a data filter. So in the data pane, click the data source menu, and then apply data filter. So this was the new data item. And then, oh my God. Data items, explore customer, what? Explore character group. Luke, can you pause it for a second? Sorry, this dog is driving me nuts. All right, back to it. So in the data pane, we're going to click this little icon here with the calendar on it, data source menu, and then we will select apply data filter. Where? Let's see. Yeah. And then from there, you should be able to see it. Mine's already done. But yeah, from there, make sure that it is all in place. Cool. Click OK. Then data filter, we go with that. Then, so next we're going to create a geo map. So in the left pane, we're going to click Objects. We will drag geo coordinates, which was, I missed it. Geo coordinate. Yeah, drag this geo coordinate to the canvas. Then in the right pane, we'll go to roles. We can, for the category, for the geography role, select add, then US hierarchy right here. And then for the size role, add frequency. For the color role, add profit. We'll go down here to profit. And then you can see the data roles here, US geography, US hierarchy, frequency, and profit. And that would be this pane up here. I already have it completed down here, but we'll get to that. From there, you can hover over the eye, it gives you a little bit more information. No match is found. We can go to the options pane. Options. Oops. Here we are. And then in the object group for the name field, enter profit by location. So object group in the name field. We can change this to profit by location. And then in the coordinate group, verify scatter. Right, scatter is selected. And then data layer render type field. And then for the initial marker shape, select diamond. So we'll select diamond. And then we'll move the marker size up to 30 with this little slider here. So this is how it should look. Scatter, 30, diamond. Make sure that this is on. And then go down. The next thing we're going to look at is the legend. We're going to place the legend on the right side here. And that is your updated map here with the diamonds legend on the right side. We can right click the geo coordinate map and remove the data. We can remove frequency. And then from there, we will replace the data in the next step to profit. And then from here, we will select average profit right here. And your map should look a little bit more like this. Next, we're going to focus in on the great state of Texas. So double click the marker for Texas, and it'll open up to a less generalized, more specific map here. In the upper left corner, click the location, so this little pin here. And then we will, in the search field, look for Austin. There we go, Austin, Texas. Click that. Double click that. And then, yeah, we're looking for pin 1. And then for the type field, select geographic selection. And then for the type field, go distance selected. And then for the unit, make sure it's in miles, freedom units. And then the distance here is 50 instead of 5. And then you'll just draw your selection. You got a little circle here. That's an even more specific map, focusing specifically on a 50-mile radius around Austin, Texas. And then we'll right-click this map, and then go to New Filter from Selection, and then Include Only Selection. And then you can see all those diamonds that were on the outside are gone now. And then in the right pane, click Filters, Filters, and then to show all the applied filters. And so as you can see, this long line of code shows exactly what is and isn't depicted here. Thank you.
All right, continuing on here, this is going to be the practice, which starts on page 3-70, titled Applying Filters. So for this part, we're going to start off by opening up VA1 practice 3.3b, which I've already gone ahead and done here. And to just go ahead and get started, we're going to apply a few different filters to make sure that we're looking only at the data that we are interested in. And so to start out, we're going to open up our data tab. We're going to come over to here, and we are going to apply data filter. And the two filters that this practice wants us to apply are active employees that are in the sales department. And so to do that, we're going to start out looking at employee status. Employee status equals this. Active. And then in order to add a second filter, we're going to have to come over to operators and add a Boolean operator here, and. So now what we're saying is we only want information that is employee status equals active and department equals sales. Okay. There we go. So now you can see that we're only looking at departments, or we're only looking at employees in the sales department, and it's not as easy to tell, but it's also only looking at active employees within the sales department. So now we're going to move over to page 4, on which we are going to create a geo-coordinate map. And to do that, we're going to go down here under GeoMaps and select geo-coordinate. I'm going to drag that out. And then we're going to go over to roles so that we can add the relevant information. So starting out with geography, we're going to add employee country, which does not seem to be an option right now. Here, let's try that again. All right, I did not. Okay, objects, geo-coordinate, geography, So the reason that I was not able to get a data item here is because I'd forgotten to transform employee country from category to geography. And it doesn't just want us to create it or make it over to geography, but it wants us to change it to country or region ISO 2-letter code. So I will do that right here. And now when I come over to geography, we see employee country. So then for size, we want total profit. For color, we want number of employees. And, oh, and there we go. Let's see, it looks like the filter may have come off of it there. Yep, so I have to go back and add the filter again. So let's just do that really quickly. Once again, going back through and adding the and. Status. Ooh. Okay. There we go. So now we want to maximize this in order to determine which two countries generate the highest profit. And so by doing that, we can see that the United States and DE, which I believe is Germany, generate the most profit. And the next question is, why do they have such high profits? And the answer is because they have more employees in sales. Remember that we have limited this to just sales employees that are active. And so having more active sales employees would likely lead to more sales just because you have more people out there trying to move the product. So now we're going to restore this map and we are going to change total profit under size to average profit. Now it asks another question, so we need to maximize this pane once again. And the question that it wants us to answer is which country has the highest average profit? And now you can see that US is no longer in the top slot. It is now FR, which is France, with an average profit of 144,000. And the next question is which one has the highest number of employees, which is still the United States. And that is it for this report.
All right, for the next practice section, we are going to be creating a tree map. And so first we can go to the practice 3.4a, and we can go to objects, scroll down to tree map and drag it over here. And then we can click assign data, and for tile we're going to click on company, and then for size we're going to change it to years of service, and then for color we're going to change it to average profit, and click close, and then it'll give you all of this employee data based on company and country. And then what we're going to do, we're going to create a new data item, and we're going to create a hierarchy, and we're just going to label this as employee hierarchy. And we're going to create a new hierarchy that contains company, job title, and group. And then we click OK. And then we are gonna go to we're gonna go back to roles, and we're gonna switch the tile, and we're gonna specify it as employee hierarchy. And then, so the first question we're focusing on is which two companies have the highest average profit generated. We can see here that highest average profit is Orion France and Orion USA right here. And then for the next question, which job titles have the highest average years of service and average profit generated? So we can go to Orion France here and click on this. And then we can filter by average profit. And it says that sales rep 4 has the highest years of service being 36 and average profit being 189,245 and 84 cents. And then we can go back to the employee hierarchy and we can click on Orion USA. And then filter again by average profit, and it will give us sales rep 2 being the highest years of service at 29 and average profit at 164,785 and 4 cents. And that is it.
All right, and so now for this last one, we're going to be looking into correlation matrix. So we've got this SAS Viya practice 3.4b pulled up, and we're going to operate within this page 6. So to make this, we're going to go to objects, and we are going to scroll to a correlation matrix. So dragging that over here, we can add it to our report. I'm going to add our measures. So the measures that we want to add are going to be annual salary, total orders, total profit, and years of service. So clicking OK, those will be filtered into, maybe they won't be. All right, so now that we've got those all filtered in, we can see the correlations. So if you go across from the top, total orders, this is the correlation it has with annual salary. So by hovering over each of these boxes, you can see the correlation of those interactions. So the first question that this asks is what degree of correlation between total orders and total profit? So we see we have total profit here, and then we can go across to total orders. So highlighting that, we can see we have a strong correlation that is 0.8783. So those meaning that those are both highly correlated. So as total profits go up, so do total orders. So next we are going to make a scatter plot. So we will go to objects, scroll down, and we're going to drag that into our matrix over here on the right. So the roles we want to assign for measures, we're going to include total profit and years of service. And then for color, we're going to filter this by job title. So looking at this, we can see that we can highlight each of the different positions. So for example, sales rep 1, we can see our highlight, or sales rep 2 are highlighted orange. We can see that these are pretty dispersed, but there is a bit of a positive correlation there. Similarly, we can see for like sales rep 4, there's a much more spread. There's not very much in this middle here, but a lot of small profits, even though there's a lot of years of experience, and also some that haven't necessarily been with the company that long, but are making a lot of total profits. So we can kind of start to see some of those relationships. We can see that in general, those show a bit of a positive correlation amongst those. But again, you can see those different sales reps have different patterns or correlations to them. So that's the end of practice 3.4b, where we looked at correlations both within the numbers and identifying those relationships and the coefficients, as well as visualizing some of that information as well. So that is SAS Viya 6 from your Beans to Brew group.